This dish is rich, comforting, and bursting with vibrant flavors in every satisfying bite. I've had stew peas a fair amount, but I don't remember ever making it. So today I'm excited to dive into the kitchen and whip up this Jamaican classic. This is actually really easy and very simple. Hey, I'm Nick and today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious pot of stew peas. I'm making this with some salted pigtail I made in my last video. You can check that out when you're done here. If you don't have any salted pigtail that you made yourself, you can use some of the store-bought stuff. Homemade is much better and more flavorful, but you will treat them pretty much the same. Making this video took a bit of time because I had to cure the fresh pork I got, but shout out to all the subbies that said I should make corn pork and then make stew peas. I'm going to wash off the excess salt from the corn pork. It's pretty much the same procedure for the store-bought stuff. Corned beef is also used either by itself or with the pork, but it's the same procedure for that too. Next, just chop them up into bite-sized pieces. If you're in a pinch, you could boil off the excess salt from the curing process, but I prefer to soak this overnight because that gets rid of the salt really well and also retains more flavor. A little bit of saltiness in your meat is very pleasing, but it's better to make it a bit too fresh than have too much salt. You don't have to use corned pork for your stew peas. Pretty much any other meat or combination of meat will work, and it doesn't have to be salted either. Stew peas with just chicken is really good, but stew peas with oxtail, turkey neck, chicken foot or cow foot are also very popular. A night in the fridge submerged in water should do the trick, but if desalted meat is a hassle for you or you don't have the time, simply use the fresh stuff. You could really cut down the cook time for this recipe by a crazy amount, and I'll show you how to do that. I mean, using fresh meat is a big part of that. I'm discarding that salted water. It's done its job. This is a decent amount of meat, so I'm only going to be using half of it. Next half goes in the freezer. I'm going to cook this in fresh water. This probably needs more, but 2 cups is good for now. Be conservative because we can always add more later. That goes on medium heat. I let that boil until it's very close to completely cook. Depending on the meat, this may take between 20 minutes to close to an hour. Close that up and we can now get to the real main ingredient. For the peas part of the stew peas, I'm using about 1.5 cups of red peas. Red kidney beans are also good and actually very popular. I'm going to season this with a few cloves of sliced garlic. Also have some fresh thyme. I don't need a lot of it. 1 green scotchy for that scotchy flavor. I'm leaving that whole. I want the flavor but not the heat. At least not yet. Also a tablespoon of dried pimento or allspice. I'm leaving them whole, but you could grind them up first. Just like with the pork, I'm adding 2 cups of water. Being very conservative because we can always add more liquid later, but it's always hard to take it away. That goes on medium heat as well. Cooking these independently give us much more control over the finished dish. I'm adding some fresh coconut milk to replace the water that's reduced. That still has a bit more time before it's completely cooked. I like to be a little bit conservative with the liquid because I can always add a bit more, but I can't remove it without removing flavor. Flavor is good. We want flavor. The peas has reduced a bit. I'm also topping that off with a little bit more water. They are still really tough. One thing that will make this recipe 10 times easier and really cut in cook time is using canned peas. Just add it close to the end of the dish. These are good now. Not completely cooked, but cooked enough and the water level is good. I'm going to add the peas to the pork pot. The pork isn't completely cooked either, but it's really close. I estimate that both the peas and the pork need roughly the same amount of time to finish cooking. For the best flavor, I'm going to season in stages. I have a few stalks of chopped scallion, but I'm only going to be adding half for now. 1 medium onion, same thing, only half of it now. A head of chopped garlic, again only half. Long cooking mutes some flavors and develop others, so seasoning any kind of stew in stages adds more depth and range to the dish. This is kinda light now because of the coconut milk, but it will get darker as it reduces. My homemade corn pork has a lot of flavor, so I don't have to do a lot, but you could simply add a bit more seasoning for the store-bought stuff. I'm having this with some white rice, so I have a bit steaming that should be ready by the time this is done. It's almost there. Cook time will vary depending on the toughness of both the peas and the meat. While that are going to simmer, let's make some spinners. Spinners are just noodle-like dumplings that we add to soups and stews. They are pretty simple. I need just about half cup of AP flour and just enough water to bring this together. Mixing a small amount of flour is sometimes a pain because it's easy to overdo the water, so just add a small drizzle at a time. Mix and repeat till we have a dough. I don't add salt to spinners because I make them very thin, and the soup, or in this case stew, usually seasons them, so you don't notice any difference. If you make larger or thicker spinners though, a little bit of salt helps the flavor. I'm going to cover this and let it rest for a good 5 to 10 minutes. Resting relaxes the dough and makes spinning the spinners easy. After resting, we can go ahead and add them to the stew. These are really simple to make. Just grab a small piece of the dough, ball it up and rub it between your palms, like this. The longer you rub it, the thinner it gets. One thing you have to bear in mind with spinners though is that they will thicken the stew, so you have to account for that. Add less spinners or a bit more liquid if the stew gets too thick. I will always go for extra spinners because these are really delicious and part of what makes a stew peas a comfort food. Spinners this size take no time to cook and the peas and meat are cooked completely, so now is a good time to add the rest of the fresh seasoning. Add the next half of the onion, scallion, garlic, and a little bit of scotchy for a little bit of heat and scotchy flavor. Those fresh seasonings will really brighten this up. I'm going to give this a few minutes of simmering to completely cook the dumpling and spread those flavors, and that's it. No added salt because the salt carried through perfectly. I'm not knocking it, but no powdered seasoning because we develop great flavors with fresh ingredients. Our rice is perfectly cooked, so I'm going to plate up some of that. White rice is a great complement to stew peas, but you know what would take this up another notch? Some ripe fried plantain and a few slices of avocado. It's not pear season, but if it was, I could probably mash up a whole one by myself. Stew peas is ready and I'm just going to pour it over the rice. Pour is a strong word because this is thick. You could easily make this thinner by adding a little bit more coconut milk or even just some water because this is flavor packed. I have a bit of sliced scallion, so I'm adding that for a bit of pretty and some extra freshness. A bit of lime is also great to cut the richness and balance this out, and that's a delicious plate of stew peas and white rice. I want you to tell me how I did in the comments as someone making stew peas for the first time, especially those of you that make this regularly. Tastes really good though, very simple, very flavorful. Shout out to my patrons on Patreon, thanks a lot for the support. Thanks for watching, but before you go, check out how I made the traditional corn pork I use in this recipe. Thanks guys, catch you in the next one.